I love music. In fact, my dream is to become a professional musician. It all started in a baby home in Novosibirsk, Russia, where I lived after being given up at birth by my biological mother. An accordion player would come and play for us weekly, and I would clap my hands and dance, keeping rhythm with the melody. When I was adopted at 18 months, the orphanage director let my new parents know. Although she struggled with English, she pointed to me and she said, "Music." Now, as I grew older, I began to ask the question, why do some musicians rise to superstardom while others fade away? Why do some only leave unpaid bills while others leave a legacy? I began to research the lives of two musicians that I admired, who had been considered to be the greatest musicians of their day. Two musical geniuses who both shocked and rocked their world, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Jimi Hendrix. Now, these two musicians were born hundreds of years apart and couldn't be more different. Still, I learned something by examining how they lived. Both musicians were dedicated to music, passionate, and willing to put in the hours required for mastery. As an example, Hendrix was said to carry his guitar with him day and night. There were even nights when he slept with it. Even when his friends would try to distract him, Hendrix would continue to work on his music rather than going out to play. Like Hendrix, Mozart was always composing. At the age of 5, he composed his first minuet, and was only 12 when he composed his first opera. In his lifetime, Mozart had 600 works encompassing all major forms and styles of his day. And after reading that, I began to think, I got my first guitar when I was 2, and I started performing when I was 7. Now, I know there are a lot of kids like this, but could I be the next Mozart? In addition to their passion, both musicians learned as much as they could from others. Mozart is described as voraciously consuming everything he could experience. He studied the techniques of the masters Bach, Handel, Haydn, and was friends with Haydn. Hendrix also learned as much as he could from others, including Randy Snipes, who taught Hendrix to play behind his back and even with his teeth. Hendrix had different influences from different genres, including funk, jazz, rock and roll, folk, surf, soul, and rhythm and blues. He absorbed everything. And I began to think, I'm always tackling new techniques, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can from others. Could I be the next Hendrix? Still, passion, dedication, is that enough? Is that what made each of these musicians so famous in history? If that were all it took, I'd be world famous. I think it was something else. I believe it was because both musicians set out to be truly original, unlike anyone else. Passion, dedication, these are just the starting points. Mozart pushed the music envelope by taking everything in and exploiting it. He was unique, unlike any other musician of his time. Within his lifetime, he transformed the sound of music. Hendrix was constantly experimenting, especially with distortion effects, including stereophonic phasing, the wah-wah pedal, and amp feedback. He absorbed everything. And, well, that's just like me again. I'm always trying to absorb everything. Both of these musicians were pioneers. They were the type of musicians that other musicians admired. Their music was bold, complex, technical, and sometimes dissonant. They took chances. Both musicians made radical departures from mainstream music, and both left a lasting legacy. Why? Because they created original works. Now, as I read this, my goal changed. Oh, I still want to be a professional musician. But even more importantly, I want to be original, to be unlike anybody else, and to create something that has never existed before. That is my dream, and this is me.